What's up, everybody? Oh, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Philly Irish Drew Evo of the Shoe Shine Podcast, and you know what happened as of last night. We all know what happened last night. Unfortunately, the Sixers lost Game 7 to the Atlanta Hawks. And it's just unfortunate. You know how the game went in many areas. It's really, I don't even know what to say, man. It's just I'm trying to treat this out right now. Trying to treat this video out. See if we can get some people in here. See if we can get some people in here and start talking. Just give me a couple seconds to do this, and we're gonna be set. My bad. Put my phone back up and let's start talking. Let me start by doing this real quick. First of all, my thing is still acting. My green screen's still acting up a little bit. I don't think I have it far enough. So, excuse that. Hold on. Let me fix this for you guys. You got this little perfection when I do this. Okay. Yeah. You guys getting perfection right now. This is live. That's why this is live. You're gonna get uncut a little bit. So last night we all witnessed Game 7. Game 7, they lost. They lost to a team that we should have beaten, but at the end of the day, we didn't beat them. We lost Game 7, and it's a shame. It's crazy. I'm gonna try to get this more into, so we get some people in here to start talking, because we're gonna talk about sports. We're gonna talk about Sixers sports. We are going to talk about a lot of things when it comes to this. And thing about it is, for anybody, for people that are going to watch this later on, because there's nobody here right now. First of all, my name's Drew Evo, Philly Irish Drew Evo. I co-host a boxing podcast on YouTube on the Shoe Shine Boxing with Dave from the 408. We talk about boxing, like news, fights, everything. We're going to be live tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific if you're on the West Coast. Make sure you subscribe to that channel. And but this is about the Sixers, about what happened last night, what happened in this series in general, because this was a team that we should have won this series. We should have won this series easily, in my opinion. I think this was a team that really we should have beaten in 5 games. Maybe 6. I had them winning. I had the Sixers in 6. And unfortunately, didn't work out. It just didn't work out for us. Like Atlanta, I just don't know what happened. But if you want to put blame on this, it starts with Ben Simmons. This is like the fourth straight year that the Sixers made the playoffs. And this is the fourth straight year. Ben Simmons, if his inability and refusal to be aggressive and shoot the ball has cost the Sixers a playoff series. Like seriously, the Sixers, there's a couple issues, but some of the main issues, and tell you the truth, the main issue is Ben Simmons. That really is the main issue. If you want to look at this, the main issue is Ben Simmons. It all starts with Ben Simmons. People say, oh, usually like don't get me wrong. When you don't win in big games, the first thing they look at is the head coach, because he's the guy that runs the ship that's riding. So, but this is he's like, there is blame to be put on Doc Rivers. Don't get me wrong. There is blame to be put on Doc Rivers. I'll explain why. There's blame to be put on Doc Rivers. But here's the thing. You are the second highest salary on this team. You make possibly over $34 million a year. You are a max contract player. And your inability to be an offensive threat. How is this guy is a max player? Let's let alone, how is this guy an all-star? Probably the coaches vote him in, but the thing is, he's not an all-star. He doesn't play like an all-star. The thing is, he's a really good defensive player, but that's all that you're going to get from Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is a point guard, as they claim he is, a above average height point guard. But the problem is, he's a point guard that is not a threat to shoot the ball. And when you are the floor general of this team, you have to be a threat to shoot the ball. You have to have an option to shoot that ball. You just gotta be. You gotta be a threat to shoot the ball on offense. And the problem, and it's a shame how he's just not a threat on offense to shoot the ball. He's refusing to shoot the ball. He really is. But I just don't understand. How is he? I don't understand. Because you can't even, how is he an all-star and you can't even have him on the floor at the end of the game? Because Ben Simmons can't hit a fucking free throw. In the regular season, he was actually taking some jump shots in some games. He actually had 42 against the Jazz in Utah. He actually improved his free throw percentage from 56 to almost 70% in the regular season. And then in the playoffs, he becomes the worst percentage free throw shooter in NBA history in the playoffs. He shot 32% from the free throw line in the playoffs. Shaq shoots better than that. Oh my God. You just can't keep him on the floor at the end of the game because they hack a Ben. Knowing he's not tell you the truth, man. Seriously, if you watch Game 7 last night, the main thing the main reason why they did not win that game is because of Ben Simmons. I'll give you a couple reasons, but the main reason is Ben Simmons. And you can say I'm a Ben Simmons hater, but here's the thing. It's all right there. If you know your basketball, it's all right there. It shows you this is what it is. They had awful turnovers. The referees were terrible this whole series. The referees are terrible this whole playoffs. Don't get me wrong. They were terrible. This cause of Trae Young, if he's putting his shoulder into you, when he's up in the air, that's an offensive foul. And then Collins, that dunk, that's an offensive foul. He literally went to choke MB while he's dunking. Like, and then Ben, here's the thing. The turning point in that game, and Joel Embiid admitted what was the turning point in that game. And he didn't want to throw the teammate on, he didn't want to throw Ben under the bus. He didn't want to come out and say, oh, already, Ben. No, he said, when we had an open dunk, it had a potential 3-point play. A potential 3-point play turned into a 1-point because he gave it to Tybalt. And you can see the reaction and be saying, what the fuck are you doing? Like, seriously. I can't anymore. I can't take it anymore. I seriously cannot take it with Ben Simmons anymore. It's over. I said this yesterday before the game. If the Sixers lose this game, the process is over. And the process is over. You have to get rid of Ben Simmons. You have to now. There is no way you keep him on this team. He cannot be on this team next year. 4 years straight, this dude does this. It's time to end it. You should have got rid of him last year. Like, it's really a shame now how people go up against, like, seriously. Like, I don't know how bad it is, man. Like, seriously, I just don't get this, man. I just don't get this. And like, it's so terrible how this game is, man. It really is, man. So I'm trying to, right now, it's just terrible. I'm just really seriously fed up with it. Like, it's really terrible how it is, man. And I'm trying to treat this out so you guys can. I'm sorry, I just need to treat this out for you guys, man. And so, some people ask me to treat it out so they can come check it out later. But seriously, I'm gonna pull up the stats. I'm gonna try to pull up stats for Ben Simmons in the playoffs. I'm gonna do it on my phone. So, okay, see it like this. Let's see if we could get it like this. I'll put it right there, so it'd be easier for me to read it off. So, if you guys look at it, his biggest output in the playoffs was 19 points in this postseason. And his average for the playoffs, he He averaged 14.3 points a game in the playoffs. In the Atlanta series, he averaged 10 points. Now, can we get more? His career in the playoffs was 15.9. Like, let's see. That news bio, no. See, seriously, Ben Simmons shot 32% from the free throw line in the playoffs. That is the worst in NBA history. Like, I don't understand how you can play so much differently in the playoffs than you did in the regular season. And when it goes to the playoffs, you completely shut down. You do not be aggressive. You refuse to shoot the ball, take a wide open shot when you have it. And yesterday, it was, oh man, I can't remember. Yesterday, it all came together because this dude had a wide open dunk underneath and potential 3-point play, and he passed it to Thybulle and only got a point from the line. That became a turning point of why that gave Atlanta the advantage. Like, seriously, you had a wide open dunk, and you are potentially going to get fouled too to make it a 3-point play, and you passed it to Thybulle. And Ty was not a good free throw shooter, and he only got 1 point. So a potential 3-point play turned into a 1-point play. That's the turning point of the game, guys. That is the turning point of this game. It really is the point of this game, guys, that Thybulle is really and that's another reason. Thybulle made so many bad decisions on defense. Thybulle fouled a lot in this game, in this series. Some of them, you can say, but a lot of them, he just made stupid fouls. Like, seriously, why would you foul at a 3-point line? Like, I don't know. I just don't understand how some of these players were playing, man. Like, and then you had stupid turnovers yesterday. It was a lot of stupid turnovers. Like, it was let me tell you something. For Game 7, this was some of the most undisciplined basketball I ever seen in my life. And I'm not lying. Game 7 was a very undisciplined game for the Sixers too, when it comes to turnovers and everything. And then, like, defensive assignments, man. Like, you see Trae Young lob it to Capella. He does it like 15 times a game in this series. You would think they'll be able to defend it right now. And they don't. They fall for it. And that goes on the coach. And then why do we have a 10 to 12 player rotation? They needed to keep this to a 7 to 8 man rotation. I don't understand why you're putting all these players in at once. Why are you putting all these players on a rotation, man? It's and then Korkmaz, man. I thought Korkmaz is terrible. Korkmaz should he should never have been a starter in any of these games, because Korkmaz is not good as a starter. He's good as a bench player. This guy is a good bench player. He's not a good starter at all. and he's a real liability on defense. He blew a lot of assignments on defense. He can't defend off the pick at all. Like, seriously. He just doesn't really have it. He's a guy that's your shooter, but he missed miserably a lot in this series. So I just don't really, I don't know. Like I thought Maxey should have played a lot more in this series than the last two games. They started playing him, and I really think Maxey could be a starter on this team next year. He has the potential to be a starter on this team. Shake, I think Shake holds the ball way too long. I don't understand why he holds the ball too long. It turns out he does nothing with it. He makes a stupid decision to take it up on a bunch of guys, and he doesn't get nowhere with it. Like, I don't understand. Why do you have this guy being your ball handler? He's not a good ball handler. He's a guy you need to pass to. He needs to shoot. Like, I just don't think I can't think too highly of Shake as a ball handler because he makes so many bad decisions handling the basketball. Like, I just don't understand. And another thing, Dwight Howard makes so many bad, stupid decisions of fouling and then hitting somebody afterwards. He made a couple bad decisions, like bad plays. I don't know. I do not know at all. I don't understand why these big men. I don't know why these big men are down, up, and not down below, and they allow these lobs, these inside plays to go. Like, don't get me wrong, the officiating sucked in this game. Officiating sucked all playoffs. I hope they put that new rule in so these guys would stop. We have to stop doing this shit that they do to draw fouls, because that's terrible basketball right there. That's not basketball. That's terrible basketball. Like, this league today, compared to like 2001 or the 2000s, is pathetic. Like, the NBA has become nothing but a joke, if you look at it. And if you guys see it like this, the NBA didn't want the Sixers to win a championship. Look at the officiating of the whole playoffs with the Sixers. That showed you alone they didn't want the Sixers to win a championship. Because what happens if the Sixers want to win a championship this year? That would show you that the process worked, and teams will tank more to build build a team like the process was built. And the NBA can't have that because we're paying to go watch a team lose on purpose. NBA didn't want that. So the NBA got Sam Hinkie out of the Sixers front office. That's why this Adam Silver got the Colangelos involved with the Sixers decision making. Seriously. So now, where do the Sixers go from here? You got an big off season ahead of you. Embiid's, let me tell you something. Joel Embiid, man, is on my fucking respect a lot more, man. You really can't say really a bad thing about him. Yeah, he had 8 turnovers, 2 straight games and everything. He put the ball on the ground. But let me tell you something, man. That dude played on a fucking torn meniscus for the whole playoffs and gave it 110%. He didn't take a fucking playoff, and he fucking took a beating on a torn meniscus and still fucking averaged 35 points a game in the playoffs. And it's a goddamn shame. I feel so fucking bad for him because his fucking number 2 could have stepped the fuck up, stop being a little bitch about shit, be a fucking man, and get the fuck up there and play basketball and and score and be aggressive for that guy because he's risking his career, his livelihood for your fucking bitch ass to win a championship, and you chose not to be a little bitch. Yeah, I'm coming at Ben Simmons because he was a little bitch. He's a big bitch, actually. And it's fucking a shame because when Joel Embiid risked his entire career, his livelihood for his bitch ass, and his bitch ass did not step up, did not become aggressive, did not become an offensive force as he should become. All that potential that he had shown in the regular season, and then after that, this shit comes along in the playoffs, and your man Artur Milicic, and he's risking his livelihood for you, man, so you could help you win a championship, and you didn't show the fuck up. You were being a bitch. I'm sorry. Ben Simmons played like a fucking coward. That's what he is. He's a coward. Because cowards are scared to play off, scared to be aggressive. Cowards are scared to shoot the ball. Cowards don't want no part of scoring points. He was hiding behind players so he wouldn't get the ball to shoot the ball half the time. He's a coward. He gave up a wide open dunk past the timer because he's a fucking coward. I said it. He's a fucking coward. He played like a fucking coward, and he fucking let his teammates down. He let the city down again. Tell you the truth, that's not a team player right there, because that's not a team player. You can't get over it. You're not built for the not alone for Philly, but you're maybe not built for the NBA to be an NBA player. I don't care what anybody fucking says. I don't care if you're a bensexual or not, as they call it. Now, seriously, maybe Ben Simmons isn't built for the NBA. Isn't built mentally to play in the NBA. Ben Simmons has to go. That's the biggest issue. You have to get rid of Ben Simmons. And I'm going to tell you the truth. He killed his trade value. His trade value is shock. If you're going to trade him, you got to package him. You got to package Ben Simmons now. You had to package him, man, but you're going to have to make a bigger package for Ben Simmons now because he killed his trade value in this playoffs. Another issue was added to him this year. He was unreliable to keep in the end of the game. He couldn't make a fucking free throw. So now, for you to trade him, you have to package him big time. And then you have to make sure that you're packaging him enough, because here's the thing. If you're going to package him, you might as well package him to get a superstar in the deal to beat the German Embiid and Tobias Harris. I really would like them to try to trade for Bradley Beal or Damian Lillard. I think it's the perfect scenario. You package Ben Simmons, a couple of first-round picks, maybe another player with Ben, and you get Damian Lillard or Bradley Beal in the deal. Like, man. But seriously, that's the main move you got to make. You got to get rid of Ben Simmons. He's done. Ben Simmons is done. Like, I don't understand. Ben Simmons is done. He's done in Philly. And the thing about it is, you have to blame the coach too, because the coach kept on saying Ben don't need to shoot. Ben don't need to shoot. Doc, you enabling him to do this. You enable him to do this shit. I don't understand, man. You enable Ben to do this shit, to pull this shit off. And then in the post game, a question was asked to Doc. Do you think Ben could be a point guard on a team trying to win a championship like this one? And Doc Rivers came out finally and said, I do not know. That's going to be between me and Ben, but I do not know if he can be or not. This tells you Doc has lost count, as Doc really doesn't really think Ben can be here next year. Doesn't think Ben can be a point guard on this team anymore. The Sixers need a legitimate point guard. Ben's not a legitimate point guard. Ben shouldn't be your premier ball handler. I remember when they made the playoffs for Jimmy Butler, they had to stop Ben from being the primary ball handler for Jimmy Butler to do it because he shoots. And they were better with Jimmy Butler as the primary ball handler. Hell, Jimmy Butler didn't want to play in Philly anymore. One of the reasons was Ben Simmons. He loved Joel Embiid. He just didn't like, he couldn't play with Ben Simmons, he said. He didn't say it like partially, but you could tell he didn't want to play with Ben Simmons. He didn't want to play for Brett Brown either. Like Ben Simmons wasn't aggressive because he wasn't aggressive. Can't win. You're not going to win. Let me tell you something. All these people that said as long as Ben Simmons doesn't shoot the ball, the Sixers will never win a championship. Oh, right. As long as Ben Simmons plays like this, a coward, you'll never win a championship with him. So you cut your losses, you trade him because Embiid's got another probably 3 to 4 years left in him, and you know how good he is. And then his skills might start to deteriorate. He's a big 7'2" guy. He had knee problems before. He's got a knee problem now. It's probably not going to affect him until he's like 30. But hey, you need to really take like 30, 31. But you really need to take these years with Embiid left. Embiid's going to be your building block. He's your franchise. The 76ers franchise, when you enter one name now, is Joel Embiid. That is your franchise. So the people that thought, they should trade Embiid before and keep Benson, build around Ben Simmons. Yeah, you proved you were stupid. You just proved yourselves to be stupid because you can't build a team around a guy that's afraid to fucking shoot the ball. Just like that. It's the truth. Like, seriously, if we look at it like this offseason is going to be big. I thought George Hill turned out to be the worst acquisition that we have. He was useless. He turned the ball over a lot. He messed up a lot. That was the worst acquisition we had at the trade deadline, was George Hill. We would have won this series if we would have got Kyle Lowry. We would have. He's that dog. He would have took that shot, and he probably would have made it too. And he had defense. So seriously, man. Seriously. I can't have George Hill on this team no more again. Horrible acquisition. And we gave up a good backup center because when Bradley was starting for Embiid, he averaged a double-double. He averaged 14 and 10. Like, oh man, I don't know. I don't know, but we need the Sixers need that superstar with Embiid, and Ben Simmons cannot be on this team next year. It's over. You need to get rid of Ben Simmons. Just point blank, you gotta get rid of Ben Simmons. Like, it's gonna be hard because his salary, his skill set, playing like a coward. That I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Ben Simmons. If you want to describe one way Ben Simmons played, he played like a coward. That's one word. That's one word to just bring it up. He played like a fucking coward. You know, as I sit here venting about this team, we're only gonna know. It's a long. The fucking the championship hasn't started yet. The finals haven't started. We're in the conference finals now. Man, MB's probably gonna have surgery, so he might not be ready for training camp. But now you really have to, dude. You really gotta see. I gotta get rid of Ben Simmons. I can't. I can't do it no more. And the ownership has to be behind the move. Like when they got swept by Boston in the playoffs last year, that was a poorly built team by Elton Brand. That team was bad, horrible. Built. You didn't have shooters. Daryl Morey fixed all those problems. Got you shooters, got you guys, veteran leadership, and everything. And your bench was your bench was inconsistent. Then he's got to improve the bench. I don't know if you keep Shake. That's an iffy on that. I'm still iffy on keeping Shake because Shake got to stop holding the ball too long. Nothing comes good of it. Maxey, I really think this kid's a starter next year on this team. And I really think you have to have Damian Lillard on this. I think they need to trade for Damian Lillard. And I think Ben Simmons has to be involved in that deal. So, Bradley Beal too. Bradley Beal had 30 points a game. You put him with an MB and this team with a improved bench. I think this team's a favorite to win it all next year. But Ben Simmons, it's been 4 straight years with him, and he's done this for 4 straight years in the playoffs. Can't do it no more. Can't have it like that no more. You got to get rid of him. That's it. The Ben Simmons thing is over. You got to trade Ben Simmons. Like, Ben Simmons might not even be in the NBA in 2 years because you're gonna realize that he's not mentally built for this league. Probably he's mentally not built for this league. And I don't want to see another video of him practicing or shooting, doing like that. You should have done that during the games, but you play like a coward. Seriously. Oh man, it's just this was really the best chance they had to win a championship with the process. And I lost to a team that they are better than. I'm gonna be honest with you. They're good. They're a good team, but they're not as good as the Sixers. Like hell, in the series against the Knicks, Rudy Randle didn't show up at all in that playoff series. He would have showed up, it would have been at least a 7-game series. You know, without that little things that Trae Young dude, he's really nothing after that. Hopefully they do that rule. You're gonna have to see Trae Young it's gonna affect his game. The NBA, Adam Silver's got to do a lot to fix this officiating because it seemed like these officials were betting on games the way they were officiating. It's just terrible, man. It's terrible. Trae Young didn't shoot good last night, and they still lost the fucking game. Sixers, come on. So I don't know. I really think you keep Tobias. You have Seth for another 2 years probably. Danny Green, you might still have him. I think if you don't, you resign him. Shakes and iffy. I wouldn't resign Korkmaz. Get that motherfucker out of here. I do not want to deal with Korkmaz again. He's fucking terrible most of the time. Howard, I think you might really need. You might could sign Dwight Howard, but Dwight Howard, man, I don't know. It's iffy. It's iffy. So, George Hill, no. I want to deal with George Hill again. So we're really going to say about this. But the main thing is you got to get rid of Ben Simmons. He's got to go. He's got to go. So I'm gonna include this. I'm gonna include this here. I've really got nothing else to say about this subject until we hear more news about it. If you want my pick to win it or who's going to win it all, I'm rooting for the Clippers to win it all now. I think the Clippers are winning all now. Like, I don't know. If Kawhi comes back, I believe the Clippers will win it all. And that's another thing that's wrong with the NBA. Even though he's hurt and everything, but the NBA allows teams to rest their best players in some games. Like, come on. Like, seriously. If like this league has turned into a pussy league. Like, seriously, man. Like in the 2000s and before, these guys played games hurt all the time. AI played hurt all the time mostly. They had to take away AI's shoes and jersey to make sure he wouldn't go on the floor and play. Like, seriously. I just don't really get how this league is. It's turned into a joke. And then with how bad these refs officiate, I'm going to go on for a little bit longer. Because you got people in here. Guys, feel free to comment. Feel free to like, subscribe to the channel. I also do a podcast tonight. It's going to be on tonight on Shoeshine Boxing at 10 o'clock tonight, Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you follow that channel too, Shoeshine Boxing, David from 408, and myself, Drevo. But let's get it on. Like, let's get going. I just don't see how this league is anymore. This league can succeed long term. So I'm gonna you know what? I'm gonna conclude it because I don't know. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what's up. When there's more news to come out, I'll probably come back on here and talk about it. Everybody, see you later. Peace.